equal mc squared, in which energy is...
Einstein, a very important political figure for the United States, died today, April 18th, 1955, in Princeton, New Jersey. Let's look back on how Einstein impacted our world. Although Einstein did not directly participate in the invention of the atomic bomb, he had a major impact on its development. As part of his special theory of relativity, he made the intriguing point that the large amount of energy could be released from a small amount of matter. This was shown through his equation E equals mc squared. News spread in 1938 that 3 chemists working in Berlin made a discovery in splitting the uranium atom. The energy released when this fission occurs is tremendous, enough to power a bomb. But before such a weapon could be manufactured, they must overcome multiple technical problems. After Einstein heard that the Germans could successfully solve these problems, he wrote to President Franklin Roosevelt with his concerns. His letter in 1939 helped initiate the U.S. effort to build an atomic bomb. Work proceeded slowly at first. 2 other findings in 1940 and 1941 clarified that the bomb was plausible and made the bomb a top priority for the United States. In December 1941, the government launched the Manhattan Project, the scientific and military undertaking to develop the bomb. Einstein's letter in 1939 warned FDR that the Nazis were working on a new and powerful weapon, an atomic bomb. Although the U.S. Army Intelligence Office did not allow Einstein to work on the Manhattan Project because of the security risks, he played an important role in the development of the atomic bomb. Here I'm showing you the death place of Albert Einstein. He died in Princeton, New Jersey on April 18th, 1955. Right there. Death of Einstein.
At 5:45 p.m., handsome actor James Dean is killed in Chelan, California. Driving his Porsche, he hits a Ford sedan at an intersection. The driver of the other car is mostly uninjured, while it was fatal for James Dean, and also leaving his passenger in critical condition. James Dean, a movie star on the come-up, had only released one movie, East of Eden, prior to his death. He was on his way to become a superstar. Very handsome and very young, this upcoming star had his life taken too early, affecting the lives of many. Teenage girls looked up to this being, attracted and awed by his presence. Also, many boys looked up to this man as he was what they strived to be like, as they craved the attention he received from the ladies. He even inspired bands and musicians such as Elvis, Bob Dylan, The Clash, and John Lennon, who noted that the Beatles would have never existed without James Dean. While his acting was extraordinary, it also mirrored his personal style. His tousled hair and a cigarette at all times, or his classic red jacket, white t-shirt, and jeans, as posed in Rebel Without a Cause, was the epitome of cool. After this showcase, he influenced many to change the style. Although not with us anymore, his legacy will live on for generations to come. James Dean is a cultural icon that inspired many. The Brooklyn Dodgers have done it. They come up successful, winning a 7-game series against crosstown rivals, New York Yankees. In a tied-up series, winner go home, on October 4th, 1955, Brooklyn's got a winning team. Although the club has achieved many pennants in the past, and even winning as many as 105 games in 1953, they've never won a World Series until now. The Brooklyn Dodgers take home the 1955 World Series in an emotional and nail-biting 7-game series. Pitcher Johnny Podres managed to throw 9 innings, allowing no runs. This brilliant performance from Podres, as well as a clutch 2 RBI hit from Gil Hodges, brought home the title for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Congratulations to the Dodgers for bringing home their first World Series. May 25th, 1955, Walt Disney Productions released Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier, which is an edited compilation of 3 television shows from the series Davy Crockett. This includes Davy Crockett, Indian Fighter, Davy Crockett Goes to Congress, Davy Crockett at the Alamo. This film was directed by Norman Foster, produced by Walt Disney, and written by Tom Blackburn, starring Davy Crockett, Fess Parker, and Buddy Ebsen. This 93-minute movie was a result of the enormous success shown from the 3 television shows. The Davy Crockett episodes of the early to mid-1950s sparked a national Davy Crockett craze, with many coonskin caps being sold. This 1955 film increased the popularity of Davy Crockett tremendously. March 7, 1955, a record-setting audience of 65 million viewers tune in to watch NBC's musical, Peter Pan. The stars of the Broadway production, Mary Martin and Cyril Richard, returned to their roles as Peter Pan and Captain Hook. They both won Emmy Awards for their performance, adding to the Tony Award they received for their onstage performance. The success of these musicals led to the continuation of more editions of Peter Pan to be made in the future. The King, an American singer and actor, is regarded as one of the most significant cultural icons of all time. He was born in Tupelo, Mississippi, but at the age of 13, he moved to Memphis, Tennessee, which is also where his career began in 1954 after recording his song with producer Sam Phillips at Sun Records. By 1955, Elvis Presley had achieved his dream of being a professional singer. 1955 was a big year for Presley as he performed for many and signed new deals with RCA. Elvis Presley influenced rock and roll to be the international language of pop. His recordings, dance moves, attitude, and clothing became the norm of rock and roll. Elvis Presley single-handedly changed the course of music and culture in the mid-1950s. July 17, 1955, Disneyland, Walt Disney's metropolis of fantasy and futurism, opens. $17 million were put into the creation of the theme park on 160 acres of land in Anaheim, California, which soon made huge profits. Walt Disney began designing the enormous amusement park in the early 1950s to be located near Los Angeles. His intentions for Disneyland included it to have educational and amusement value and to entertain adults and their children. Initially, Walt Disney opened the park to only invited guests and the media. However, 28,000 people attended the event, and only half of those were actual invitees.
Hi, I'm Phil Rogers. Let's get a first-hand look at somebody who experienced Disneyland on opening day. Hey, you.
Who, me?
Come here.
Hi.
I'm Phil Rogers.
Hi, Phil Rogers.
I'm on TV. So, what's your name?
My name's Perry. How are you, Phil Rogers?
I'm great. What was it like at your first day at Disneyland?
Well, if you look here, Disneyland was a very fun time, except they ran out of food, my high heels got stuck in the cement, and it was very hot and the lines were very long. Some of the rides had to get shut down, but overall, it's a very beautiful place, and I loved it, and I'm glad to go back again. Billy Joel's reasoning for writing the song was not to pass the blame, but to help the younger people realize that there are lessons in the past that might help us work through the present. Billy Joel says, no matter how much you try, the world is going to be a mess. All you can do is be the best you can be, and maybe make the world immediately around you a better place. Although most of the components or lyrics of this song were meant to correlate to disasters in history, Billy Joel also takes time to acknowledge the positives within the legacy that he has inherited. Not all the names and events included in this list are hellish.
Billy Joel included Einstein because his death in 1955 swept the nation as they look back on his contributions to the United States. Einstein potentially saved the U.S. by giving us knowledge and information to further the advancement of the atomic bomb, which some say led to us winning World War II. Without Albert Einstein, our lives would be heavily altered today. Billy Joel included James Dean because his death in 1955 left a huge emotional mark, as he was one of the most important cultural figures of this time. His contributions to acting and the influence he left on his followers made this tragedy even more heartbreaking. Billy Joel felt the need to include James Dean because of his cultural impact he left on our country. His talent and good looks inspired many to follow and conform to his style. He is still talked about today, and his legacy will live in longevity. Billy Joel included Brooklyn's Got a Winning Team in his song because this was a remarkable accomplishment for an organization seeking its first World Series title in 1955. After achieving many notable achievements prior, this outshines them as they all finally got what they have been working for. This news was huge during 1955 as baseball was America's most popular sport at the time. This was also the only World Series title to be won in Brooklyn as the team moved to Los Angeles shortly after. Davy Crockett was included in Billy Joel's song because of his cultural impact on the United States during 1955. This was the year in which the Davy Crockett craze occurred, in which many teenage boys purchased the coonskin hat made infamous by Davy Crockett. This was made popular after the release of Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier. This film carried on the torch to continue the success of Disney productions that is still relevant today. Billy Joel included Peter Pan in his song because of the achievement that this TV musical received. In 1955, the TV broadcast broke record for the most viewed show and also got rewarded with 2 Emmy Awards to the leading actor and actress, playing Peter Pan and Captain Hook. This success has led Peter Pan to be a reoccurring musical, movie, and play still watched today. Billy Joel mentions Elvis Presley in a song because he is potentially one of the most influential cultural figures of all time. Elvis Presley altered the path of pop by conforming his sense of style to be the norm of rock and roll. Elvis reached the prime of his era in 1955 by signing important deals with RCA. He influenced many by his unique presence, which includes his voice, style, and dancing. Elvis Presley still remains a cultural influence today as everyone wants to be the king. Billy Joel includes Disneyland because of its cultural impact on our nation. Disneyland opened in 1955 and to this day attracts millions. This aesthetically pleasing theme park initiated roughly, but its resilience resulted in a huge economic success. Disneyland today is the happiest place on earth that every tourist wants to experience.
We didn't start the fire, it was already burning since the world's been turning. We didn't start the fire.
No, we didn't light it, but we tried to fight it.
Einstein,
James Dean,
Brooklyn's got a winning team.
David Crockett,
Peter Pan,
Elvis Presley,
Disneyland.
Einstein, James Dean, Brooklyn's got a winning team. Davy Crockett, Peter Pan.